Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Must Love Yarn podcast.
Much missed and long delayed Must Love Yarn podcast.
Fast forward to the outtakes at the end to find out the
yes.
long saga of why it's been so long since we podcast.
Yes.
When we had promised you one at the beginning of August.
And even then, we knew that there was going to be a break because Ange was going to be gone and I was going to be gone a little bit. And so we knew there would be a break. We just didn't expect it to be quite this long. 6 weeks, I guess. By the time people see this, it'll be...
Yeah, it's been a long time. So we apologize.
Here we are on the ragged edge of summer.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Summer has thrown one more curve at us. Like, I'm not done yet. Stop getting all excited about knitting woolly things.
Or doing things.
Yeah. So it's Monday.
It is.
August 29th.
Yeah.
It's been more than a month since we podcast last.
At least I think it's been almost 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And again, when they see it, it's funny to me because I don't have kids who go back to school. My niece is, extended family, but it's just always like, it's funny to me how this last week of August is always like the end of summer, even though my life is exactly the same. Does not change. Yeah. My daily routine doesn't change, but it's just the days are getting a little bit shorter.
Yay. Or we'll have already been back by the time you watch this.
Yeah.
School started. So anyway, so this actually generally is a podcast about knitting and yarn and sometimes crocheting. Seldom. Though maybe I have a hair to do some crochet. Anyway,
all right,
stay tuned. Not in this podcast.
I did a tiny bit of crochet on this top, tiny bit, just to do around the armholes.
Yeah.
So I picked up a crochet hook in the past month.
Wow, I have not, but I've been looking at things. So you know how that goes.
Yeah.
So you can find the store out on social media as Must Love Yarn.
Everywhere.
And I'm good.
Sorry. Bless you.
Yeah. Nope. Yep.
I was going to be like, well, maybe I'll go first while you're over there.
Yeah. So we are here in our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont.
We are.
It's Monday. The store's closed. Usually closed on Mondays these days. So it's nice and quiet.
And you are?
And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Jennifer_Arbuckle and on Ravelry as J Arbuckle.
And the podcast mascots, in-store mascots, which are the Meerkats, did not make it today. They're resting up. They had some adventures in August as well.
Yes.
There was a little bit of fun activity on their page, so would check that out. Those guys were having some fun. Yeah. And the Instagram page, that's my personal page, so you're gonna see lots of other things on there.
You haven't seen much of anything on mine lately.
Yeah.
But,
but for yarn stuff and updates on what's going on in the store Instagram or Facebook page is the place to be.
Absolutely.
To get those notifications. So you actually, we're going to start with our podcast. Look, I'm so rusty. And I even have show notes in front of me and I still am not on task. So we start these with our podcast picks.
That's right.
And the way this works is we're going to show you a product and we're going to give you a code. And for 2 weeks after this podcast airs, so that would be through the middle of September, you can get 10% off online or in store. And we have a yarn that we've picked. It's kind of a final hurrah for summer.
And for the yarn.
So it's sad on 2 accounts.
That is right.
The first is that it's a cotton yarn. And so still,
it's a really nice, worsted weight cotton yarn. Full Pima cotton.
Yep. You want to give the details and what the yarn is? So
it's Juniper Moon Farm Nev, which we've had for quite a while, and they are discontinuing it, sadly, and so that is the reason. But as I said, it's 100% cotton. It's a worsted weight. It is Pima cotton, if that matters to someone. And we have quite a bit of it left in stock, and we have like a pretty good selection. These are the colors that we have, and we have pretty much a pretty good number of each of these colors. Sorry, I'm trying to get all those words into one sentence that makes sense. So
the sad thing is that this particular yarn has been discontinued by the manufacturer.
Right.
So
what we have in stock is what we have.
Exactly.
It is, as I said, it's a worsted weight. It's a 100 gram, 222 yard product, and then really just I said some really fun, nice colors. And we have, I think, with a few. There's a gray somewhere that got lost. Oh, is it buried underneath something? I don't know.
No.
There's a light gray as well, which I thought I grabbed, but maybe I didn't.
There's so much yarn here. Who knows where it went?
Who knows where it's gone?
Some we have more.
Yeah, I think most
colors.
of these we have at least 4 or 5 of most of them. There might be 1 or 2 that only has 1 or 2. Yeah. But most of them we have a pretty good number. So.
So we thought we'd do sort of double duty here. We would let you know that this yarn's being discontinued. So if you want it and you like to use it, now is the time to get it, because we can't get any more. But we also you get the podcast pick discount, so 10% off this yarn for the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
So it's kind of a sad but a win.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll just chalk that up to making lemonade out of lemons.
That's right.
Or I think, as I put in one of my Instagram pod posts, lemon drops out of lemons.
Lemon drop
just
martinis.
Add vodka.
Let's just go there, right? Exactly. Because that's the kind of cocktail that we prefer.
Yes. So these retail for $11.99. So good price point. Yeah. It's a great yarn.
Yeah.
We're really sad to see it go, but that's
we
of
have
the way
some other
sometimes.
good cottons in stock in the worsted weight that we've sort of brought in because we knew this was happening, and we've talked about those before. But so if you're looking for something in a different color in cotton, we do have at least a couple, maybe two to three other great worsted weight cottons, which we have a pretty good supply of as well. So
I think we'll make the code PP Juniper, because I won't make you spell Neve. Even though it's really easy, but just do Juniper.
Sure.
PP Juniper.
Easier to remember
for folks.
Indeed.
And so that will get you 10% off for the next 2 weeks.
Sorry, I was just looking for the gray. It's a very nice gray. It's kind of like this color gray.
Oh my gosh. I bent over and turned the light back on.
Honest.
Who knew? Who knew standing
I wonder,
and waiting?
you know what, remember when I raised my arm by mistake and the light came back on? Yeah. I wonder if its sensor is like over here rather than behind us. It doesn't make sense to me.
Over this way.
Oh, yeah.
And it turned on.
Yeah,
so I guess I will have to do stretching aerobic gymnastics or something.
One last look at the colors before I put it down
colors. Would make a great
a lot of people
tank.
It's great for that, or a lot of people make it's a nice cotton blanket sort of
I can
like
see
baby
that.
blanket kind of thing. So a lot of people use it for that. I remember last year we had someone buy she had heard from on the manufacturer's website that it was being discontinued, and so she bought, I don't even know how many skeins. It filled a huge box. I was like, she's like, if you have it, I'm going to buy it. I was like, all right, knock yourself out. This was months ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was, so that was fun. But
so you were wearing a hand knit today.
I
am not. It was too hot for me.
Well, this is a cotton tank. And the funny thing about this one, so this is called the Giza. I'm trying to find the actual pattern page, but and Giza is spelled Gizeh. So this is one of those sort of modified patterns.
What?
I'm so fond of. So I'm going to stand up for 1 second so you can see the color shift.
Yeah, because the colors are awesome.
So I had, we still have a few left maybe, but Trendsetter did these gradient where they went, some of them went from green to blue and an ombre kind of thing, cotton, and I had a couple of them, and I did a shawl out of one, and I had this idea that I wanted to make a top out of it because it's really good yardage because it's fingering weight, but it was a big, maybe it's 150 grams, I don't remember now, but but I knew there wasn't enough, and I also didn't want to have, so I had to find a pattern that had the way it was top down so that I could introduce another color, and then I wanted to blend the color in. So that the top in the pattern is all one color, clearly. And there's a little detail on the bottom, on the side, like a little triangle detail that's similar to this detail that I did not do. So this top yarn is Zoe, like the linen blend, which is actually a DK weight. So, and this is a heavy fingering maybe. So it works pretty well. This is a little bit heavier. And like Outtakes, the one thing, it has this nice detail on the sleeves, but you can't see it because it rolls over every time. So on the way over here tonight, I was thinking, and this is the one where I did some crochet around the bottom of the armhole because the white didn't go all the way around and it just looked weird. And I needed to tighten up the armholes a little bit. So I did think on the way over that maybe if I just did either crochet or did a 1-inch lace, it would make the little sleeves not roll up quite so much. But it's comfortable, and
you could go the other route and pinch it a little bit like that, and so then it just as a design detail kind of rolls in, but then it looks like it's supposed to.
Yeah, right.
So
exactly. Yeah. Anyway, it's fine. And but the sad story is that so I knit this top in 2018, the summer of 2018, and or that's when I finished it. I might have even started it the year before because I'm that way. And it's been sitting finished on my Ravelry page, but not really finished because I never wove the ends in, and so I have not worn it.
My cardigan that's at home.
So this summer, right before we were supposed to podcast, so like the end of July, I was like, I'm going to finish that. Like, how long is it going to take me? It's going to take me like an hour. It took it was a lot of ends to weave in because of the colors shift, but they were actually different things, and they had like those magic knots in them, joining them in the yarn, but one of them pulled out almost immediately, and so I was like, I'm taking them apart and I'm gonna so I had to weave it anyway. It was fine, but it took me, and because of this color changing thing, I had a lot of ends to weave in around the armhole. So it took me a couple hours, but honestly, this top sat for 4 years waiting to be finished. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
However, it's done now, and I've worn it quite a few times because it's actually perfect for the hot weather. So
totally,
and I can wear it like under a jacket or whatever. So anyway, that's the long story of what I'm wearing today.
I have one. I suppose I could have worn that today, and I almost thought about it. But I knew I was going to be inside. That's like it's going to be inside, and it'll be. So I finished. That's Seltzer. This one here on the chair with the no pants lady.
Right, don't look below the.
So Seltzer's actually that's worsted weight yarn.
Oh,
and that was one of Liz's from Kingdom Fleece and Fiberworks.
You had started that, I think.
I had started that
podcast.
Yeah,
because I remember it was pretty
good. I had started it, so it is finished. It's a cute little tank. Like you could wear it like a sweater over it, or a little wrap, or even like a kimono. Like the kimono things are like super huge, big. So I think we'll get a lot of wear. I have to find the right bra, but it's
the joy of the undergarment.
Yeah.
The search for the perfect undergarment.
Very important. So I did not feel like wearing strapless today, so that's why I didn't wear it. But anyway, so that one's done.
And I
you finished
my
your
Elva
fun
top.
Top. That's awesome.
I had it finished, as I said I would for the last podcast, and I was wearing it on that Monday when I received my text from Ange to say we're not podcasting after all, and I was like, what? What? I'm wearing my top. So I've worn it a couple times, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out overall. It fits really nicely. It fits pretty perfectly. The one thing that's a little wonky is the whole, for those of you that don't remember, long story short, I also modified this pattern, and it's meant to be knit with fingering weight, and I used a really light fingering weight. It wasn't really lace weight, but it's sort of in between. But I left it on the same size needle, so it has a lot of really nice drape to it. But I also striped it, as you can tell from the picture in the pattern. It does not look like that, although it's really interesting. It's just a solid color top. But I wanted to stripe it. And it's really interesting to me how the sleeves turned out because of the striping. They look like they're smocked. They have it. If it had just been straight eyelets knit and stockinette, I think they would have been flatter. But they're kind of fun. So I had to make a few modifications along the way. And one of the things about the fit that I don't completely love is the short row section in the back, because my row gauge was a little bit taller. The short rows are too tall. So there's like a little, it sort of folds over a little bit on the back. It's fine. But luckily I figured out my row gauge issue as I was working on the neckline. And I realized that if I didn't stop the neckline soon, it would be down here instead of up here where it belongs. And so actually it's kind of perfect. It's just like a scoop neck.
Nice.
It's a little bit lower than this, but not much.
Yeah.
So it fits nicely, and it's really light and drapey, and it feels nice on. So that is knit out of Northern Wool Levity, which is the reconstituted yarn from Darn Tough leftovers. Darn Tough socks made here in Vermont, for those of you that are not familiar. Great socks if you don't want to knit them yourself.
Yeah.
Highly recommend them.
My favorites.
Yeah. And so Katie Sullivan from Bobolinks Yarn is working on that whole project.
Yep.
So I talked about it in the newsletter, and
we've talked about it previously.
A couple times. And I have a link to a really nice local story that was done that I put in the newsletter for folks that want to see that story. It was on one of the local news channels. So anyway, so great top. It's funny because it's wool, but it's so lightweight. It doesn't feel like wool, and it feels more like cotton. It has that sort of soft.
Yep.
So right next to my skin, perfectly fine. Not a problem at all.
Yep.
It doesn't feel itchy at all. It's really, it's kind of feels like a cotton yarn when you're knitting with it, because it's got multiple strands rather than being more heavily plied or whatever. So anyway, glad it's done.
Nice.
And I got it done in time to wear it in the summertime, which is like a miracle all by itself. So that was exciting. I guess my only other finished object is related to the upcoming seasons of Vermont. So we will wait and we will talk about that all together, because there is no pattern name.
Well, yet. I can talk about a few other things that I knit and or finished and or started that nobody has seen. So I'll start with something that people had seen before. And that's what I call my hot pants shorty socks. So there's 2 of them. They're done. They are currently covered in pet hair. I apologize.
Oh, everything I knit with is covered in pet
crazy.
hair.
I've not washed them yet. I have worn them. I love short socks. Even in the winter, I tend to gravitate more towards short socks. Just, I don't know. Like, I don't like having things on my calf.
I don't wear socks in the summertime.
Yeah,
except for when I'm walking in the morning.
I don't wear them a whole lot in the summer either. Yeah. So anyway, so these are done.
Those are so cute. I love that color pattern.
It's so much fun. I think
It's funny. It's just like 3 colors. Yeah, but they're like perfect 3 colors together.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah.
The yarns Woolens and Nosh. I decided I should probably start knitting some of the 800 skeins of yarn I have of hers in my stash. I could probably get another set of short socks out of the skein, but I think I might knit some koozies. Like, those are fun too, and they're like good gifts, and you can just like have
and
them
those
on
colors
hand.
are really fun.
And those colors are so fun for something like that. So those got finished. I actually picked up and finished Rick Rack. So this I had started like in May.
I was going to say, you had started that a little bit.
Yeah, a while ago. So this is the Casapinka local yarn store day pattern. Thank you. And the yarns, the tealy is from Wonderland Yarns, and it was their local yarn shop color, one of their colorways. And the pink is just a Malabrigo fingering. They work really well together. They're super fun. This has not been blocked. So the little end there is kind of flipping up, but you could wear it without having it blocked. It's super fun, like lots of texture, and fun color changes.
Yeah.
Not too many ends to weave in because you carry the yarn up the side.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
super fun. So I got that's all done.
Mm-hmm. It's funny we both knit in the same colors this time.
I know, right?
Similar.
Those
I did think to myself, maybe we should hang that over there, and then
maybe
we would have had matching bookends. But
I also knit the Firefly Nights shawl, which is going to stay here at the store, and it's knit out of the Seasons of Vermont colorways because we didn't actually have a sample of it knit in the actual kit yarn.
Get the yarn until it was too late.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see it in the colors. It looks beautiful.
So this
pretty.
is the June Seasons of Vermont box balance.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And this is the shawl pattern knit in the colors that are in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was fun. This went to Maine with me, though I trucked on this. I was done in
It's funny when I was knitting the sample. I had once I had sort of figured out the pattern. It takes I had to fuss with things a little bit, but it's a big shawl because it's not two full skeins, but it's I mean, and it's probably like half of each one. One is more than the other.
90 grams of the dark blue,
and less,
and then about 60 grams of the yellow.
So it's a pretty significant, amount of yarn, but it is a really fast knit.
I feel like it was fast. Yeah. Like the thing that took the longest was the little
my funny little made up scalloped edge.
Yeah, scalloped edge. But so this is here. So if exciting. Folks want to see the colors, hopefully people have a better idea now. They can see the kit, and Jen can use it for pictures on the pattern and the Ravelry page and stuff. So that was a project that I had committed to take on vacation with me and knit while I was away. So I was able to do that.
Awesome.
Still.
Yeah.
So that shawl got finished.
Yeah. So exciting.
And then I figured I needed a couple more projects that were going to be travel projects. So this was going to go as a travel project. And then I stumbled across this pattern. So this striped sweater back here is called
the
black striped one. It's called Sweet Tart by Josie Pequin. And I had it in my favorites for a bit. And I had a bunch of this Feederbrook Farm yarn. Like I had started to knit Spark out of this color, those colors.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really working with that pattern. And I don't know if you guys remember, like I had got two sleeves knit and then I ripped it out and like knit in like the purple colorways. And I was looking at this Sweet Tart pattern and I was like, you know what? I bet that Feederbrook Farm yarn that I have.
It's funny. It looks very rainbow on the screen.
I know, right?
But when you're here, because that's why I just turned around because when we were setting up, I don't remember thinking it is rainbow.
Yeah.
And when you're up close,
it's very yellow, orange, teal.
Yeah, and blue. Yeah.
Blue, yeah.
And I was trying to remember a Feederbrook colorway that had like rainbow colors in it.
This is a mill end. So mill ends are like giant skeins. They're like 560 yards. And she tries to match like stuff that goes together.
Did you carry your yarn or did you have to weave in all those ends?
You carry it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, you carry it.
I just focused on the minutiae.
But there'll be breaks where it'll be like a hard shift where like it'll switch from like one color to another. And so a pattern like this really can take something like that because it looks like that's what you're doing anyway.
Yeah.
So if there's a hard shift, it's not as like, whoa, what just happened there?
Yeah.
The gray or the black, it's a really charcoal gray. Yeah. It's Barocco Ultra Wool DK. Just one of their great like workhorse yarns.
Solid. They have great solid colors.
Solid. Great. It's like a charcoal. I had like 2.5 skeins of it in just stash.
And I say solid, but they're really wet. They're heathered, a lot of them, and so they catch the light, and so they're not like super solid.
So this is like a short sleeve, just like
so
super
cute.
Like loose. Just pull it on over something. The only thing left to do, and I'm not sure if I'm going to or not, is that there's 2 I-cord ties that you put on the top of the V. because it's technically supposed to like fold down.
Oh, that would annoy me. I might put a button and a little loop.
I think I'm just gonna leave it the way it is and see how it goes.
Yeah, I never liked that flapping open thing.
Yeah.
When you see the inside, like it bugs me. So.
Yeah, I had turned one over when I was on the mannequin. I was like, oh, look, you can see my end that I wove in right there.
Yeah, I would put like a tiny button and just a little loop.
Yeah. So, so this
it's so cute.
Nobody's even seen. Like, this was gonna be a vacation project, and I was like, this will be fun. It's kind of portable.
When you posted yesterday, and you had like 53 pounds, I was like, my goodness, what is she?
I did my first reel yesterday. I was very excited. I was like, let me see if I can pull this off.
Right. First of all, that's a skill that I do not have. And second of all, I was looking at it and I was like, wait.
What's that?
Okay,
what's
yes. Where did that come from?
Yeah. So that was going to come on vacation with me.
Yeah.
And so I did finish
it. And it did.
It did. And I finished it. And it's a garment and it's good.
It's crazy how much you've knit.
Well, I was doing not much.
Yes, I know.
So...
Yeah, and my vacation, I didn't knit as much as I thought I would. And I didn't have an adventurous vacation, but those are so cute. I love those colors.
And they smell like sunscreen.
Yeah.
So this was my travel project.
Yeah.
Like
I think we brought some of that in when we restocked just recently.
It's Prism, or not Prism, it's Spectrum.
Yeah.
So this is Spectrum. And socks are great just to like take to the beach, to have in the car, to like, I was carrying my little bag around with me everywhere, like just looped around my wrist. And so again, Woolens and Nosh, this is Spectrum, the colorway.
I love
it's
that
like
colorway.
Awesome rainbow. You know, a lot of people like to do afterthought heels. Her yarn does so well to use for this heel flap and gusset, which I love because for me, this is a better fitting heel. Yeah. And a better fitting sock on my foot.
Yep.
So I got one sock done, and then part of the second one I've kind of this one slowed down because I've put it aside to work
because you've
on
knit 16 sweaters.
I know, right? Does this one smell like sunscreen? Nope, this one does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working on this one on the beach. Smell like sunscreen.
Yes, I worked on that top on the beach actually because it was just mindless stockinette body knitting at that point.
So I finished all of that stuff, and then
except for the white swetter, I'll just say.
Yeah, the white sweater is the one that Ariana.
We'll talk about that one in a little bit. Yeah.
So I did those, and then I was like, now what am I gonna do? Right.
So I have a few other works in progress to share. So I did. When I finished the Seasons of Vermont knitting, then I'll talk about it in a few minutes. I picked up my sea glass again, which I'm very excited about, and I divided for the sleeves.
Yay.
So I put just a couple. I just picked it up again Saturday night. I finished my other project on Saturday evening, and so I was really close to dividing for the sleeves, and I put an inch or two on. So I'm very excited. So that is just I'm just working away on it, and my goal is to get it done this fall. And then when I was going to Hawaii, I wanted like a really small project to bring with me, and so and I had my Seasons of Vermont knitting, but I wanted something else just in case. And so with the yarn that I bought at H&H, which is this it's a linen blend, and I thought I'll just do a quick top because there's time. That was, I don't know, before I lost my knitting mojo for a couple of days. And anyway, so I like this yarn. I will say, so this is called Zoot Suit, and it's Oink Pigments is the name, and it's in their guild. So that's the, I guess technically, sorry, there you go. It's a linen blend, if I remember correctly. It's a DK weight. It's a silk and linen blend. I love some silk and some yarn. The only thing I will say is that it doesn't want to hold its color in the yarn. So it's so funny when it's not a terrible thing, but it looks like I've been drawing with graphite pencils. So, but I have one stripe over my pinky where I hold my yarn, and it just is sort of continuously. I've noticed it when I was winding it because I wound it at home, and I was like, why are my hands so dirty? So it's fine. I'm just going to knit it, and then I will freeze the color or do something to freeze the color.
Yeah.
So, and so I did. So, I think I bought 3 skeins of it, so it was needed to be a small project anyway. So I started this boho shell.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so I actually by Annie Lupton, and it's just a really simple top, but I'm gonna make it a tiny bit oversized so I can wear it like in the 3 season at least, and maybe longer. Like I could wear it over a blouse, not a white blouse until I freeze the color. But it's just one of those tops that you could throw on over a dress or a top. And so I'm also going to make it tiny bit longer. And so I'm in the middle of a row, of course, but I have started you knit the 2 bottom ribbings. It's bottom up. And so you knit the bottom ribbings and then you go up from there. And so I'm going to knit these instead of 2 inches, more like 3 probably, because it has a divided hem. And then the rest of it will be super fast.
I mean, the divided hem is fun. That sweater there, the stripy gray one, has a divided split hem.
Yeah. I think if I make that even a little bit longer than what they have shown here, it'll just add a little bit of length and it will still be fine. So I like the yarn is really pretty, the way it's knitting up. It just has, because of the silk and the linen, the sort of shifts, the color shifts a little bit. And it's just a really plain gray, but it's a pretty color. Yeah. So.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was fun, and I've been sort of working on both of these. I picked them up, and I will actually, for the Seasons of Vermont, I knit a test sock. I think I talked about it last time. So they're socks, and I knit a test out of our Must Love Yarn colorway DK. So I have 1/2 of a pair done, and 2 things. One, I changed the pattern, the design a little bit. And also I realized I knit the heel wrong on that one afterwards. I was like, why is this heel so short? It actually fits reasonably well, but I might take it out, and I might take it all out and just reknit them because I like the way the pattern looks better in the new ones.
The new one.
Yes. So I was working on those as well.
So I started a new tank.
Oh.
Yeah, because I
think I've had that in my
can't
queue
stop
before.
Knitting tanks right now.
I like that top.
So this is the big chain top by Hinter M. Stein. I will say, in terms of construction, is super intriguing. Like a lot of new sort of design construction things with how this tank is knit. And so it's been super fun, though. Right now I'm just in sort of the straight knitting.
Is it bottom? It's top down.
It's top down.
Oh, that's pretty.
So the yarn, interesting story. So I've nice. Armholes are all done. You might notice that the yarn is very crinkly.
I was going to say the color is very familiar.
Color is very familiar. So a number of years ago, I think we were at the other store or the other location, knit a mama vertebrae.
Yes.
And I knit a mama vertebrae with One Twisted Tree DK in the Rare Woman Claire colorway. So that's what this is. Like, she's not dyeing yarn anymore. You can't get the yarn unless you find somebody that's got it in stash. So I had this mama vertebrae. Great pattern, great sweater. Does not work on my body type. Like, constantly falling off my shoulders. Like, just won't stay put. Like, I can't wear it. But I have this fantastic yarn.
Yeah,
and so
beautiful color.
Finally it occurred to me, like, I should just rip that sweater out.
I have a pile, actually.
And use the yarn for something else. Because it's such a great color. It's such a great yarn. So that was one of my at-home projects, was ripping that sweater out.
And you got most of the yarn, probably. Except for, well, I meant you salvaged most of it. That's good, because I've done that with one sweater, and you do end up losing a little bit here and there sometimes where you've cut it or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had alternated skeins. So, like, I had 2, almost 3 full skeins that hadn't been broken. And there's some smaller ones, but so it's a DK weight yarn. I'm knitting this.
You'll have plenty because it was a long sleeve sweater, right?
Plenty,
and it was long.
But it didn't have a front. Like that was the
it's
thing
one
with
of
the
those
mamba
ones. Yeah, I
vertebrae
don't like
just
those
over,
open.
over the back. No, I have plenty of yarn for this tank, and that's part of why I picked this project, just because I knew I would have enough. So, it's, you know, it feels like it looks like it's textured.
Out.
It'll block out. And even if it doesn't, I don't care because it's a fun, like, little texture thing.
It'll block it. Why wouldn't it block out?
I should have like the appropriate way to do it is to reskin it and to wash it and to hang it to dry. And I was like, I cannot be bothered to do that. So we
appreciate all of those people out in the knitting community that do things like that. If that is something that you really believe in, you are maybe listening to the wrong podcast.
Yeah, you're fine.
We are not those people.
I knit with crinkle yarn.
And I have done the same thing because that the Jen Steingast sweater that I re-knit out of the whatever, I did the same thing. I was like, I'm not gonna. It's wool. It'll.
But I mean, this sweater is like 6 years old, 7, 8 years old.
One was sitting there for 3 years.
Yeah,
3 or 4
long
years,
time.
and it was very tightly knit.
Yeah.
Too tight, which is why I ripped it out.
So anyway, so I'm repurposing the yarn.
That's awesome. That's such a pretty color.
And I'm hopeful now I will have it in a garment that I will wear.
Yeah.
And will get use instead of just being shoved to the bottom of like the sweater chest.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I love that yarn, but I can't wear that sweater.
Yeah.
So I did it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I have a couple.
Ripped it out.
Yeah.
I did a good job weaving in my ends in that sweater.
Because that's the other thing is like finding like where to start the pulling apart. It's kind of annoying. On mine, I actually, because it was very tightly knit on the, you know, I had to cut like up into the ribbing somewhere because I just could not deal with like trying to take the cast off. And I still think I have a piece of ribbing left. That's knit.
I managed to figure it out and got it all, but it took a long time. It took a long time.
You think to yourself, I'm just going to pull and then boom, it'll all come. Yeah, it took me several hours to take mine out, which I was like, why is this taking so long?
Well, and it was further complicated by I had was knitting alternate rows, so I had like 2 that I was trying to undo at the same time. And anyway, so
well worth it.
Totally worth it. Yeah. Now I'm going to have something that I will wear
and that you will love,
that will fit in this gorgeous yarn. And if you're looking for something that is a super fun, different construction, I can't recommend this enough. Like there was a few times where I was like, I gotta walk away and come back because I'm not sure that I've wrapped my head around what she wants me to do. But like once you start doing it, you're like, oh, this is magic.
Yeah.
So super, super exciting.
Awesome.
So pretty.
Yeah.
And really glad to have again be able to reuse that yarn.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but
I don't know. I have not another work in project. Do you have another work?
I do. I have one more work in project, and then I have like the things that are probably going to get cast on, even though I have these other works in projects.
Yeah, this is my
super
maybe.
Excited.
Maybe.
So I will talk about this one real quick. What did I do? Oh, I didn't. Oh, I printed the picture page and then didn't grab it off the printer up front. But oh well. So at the beginning of the summer, so Barocco, if you're not on their email list, you should. Like they send out these great emails, and they have usually a free pattern. But you get to see like they highlight like one type of yarn, and so at the beginning of the summer they had one that came out with their modern cotton. I was looking through it, and there was this cute little cabled sweater in it that my daughter saw, and she was like, I want that. And I was like, you're not gonna wear it. She's like, I will.
Did you tape record that?
No, I know, right? So I let her pick out we pulled up the page, we looked at all of the yarn colors, because I was like, if like we can just get this yarn from Barocco. So you can pick out whatever color. So this is the color.
Which is good because that is not a color that we normally have here.
No, we would never have. This is, well, we have the rest of the bag of this. If this floats your boat. So this is Rhode Island red.
It's a nice red.
Is a very nice, bright, kind of leaning towards pink shade of red.
Yeah.
Very bright. And so this is the yarn that she wanted, and so it's been sitting down on my workbench forever.
Well, she knit herself like 4 sweaters.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I should really just pull this out. So
she starts school on Wednesday, Ange.
No, I know. So the pattern is jonquil. And it's a cable. There are cables in there. I kind of am at the spot where you can start to see the cables. It's a pieced sweater, so this is good for me. I don't generally like pieced sweaters because of the seaming, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I can
match or stitch is like magic.
Yeah, it'll be good practice for me.
Yeah, I love match or stitch.
So it's a cute little cardigan. And it's cotton, so it's like a worsted weight cotton.
Yeah.
So it'll be good. She can wear it through the fall, assuming I get it done. She probably could wear it over the winter because my kids run so hot.
Or like over a long sleeve t-shirt.
Or inside or, whatever. And definitely in the spring.
Yeah.
So.
As long as she doesn't grow out of it, so make it long.
The nice thing about cardigans is you can get away with.
Right, that little cropped look.
They can be cropped and the sleeves can be a little shorter and it's fine. So she doesn't actually notice that I'm knitting on. I don't think she remembers that she picked out the yarn for it.
That's the beginning of the, did I ask for that?
I know, right? So
conversation.
I figure if she is like, nah, about it, I may end up getting gifted to like my nieces who would be able to wear it. So anyway, so it'll have some futility.
They're a size too smaller than she is. That's perfect.
One is the same age and roughly the same size, but she's got a younger sister, so it could go to the younger sister.
I was just going to say, like going forward, that's kind of a good thing because if Abigail changes her mind, there's another avenue.
And they wear the stuff that I make them and send out, so like awesome.
Right, exactly right.
So that's Jungle. I cast that on yesterday. I needed something else. I was getting bored with like stockinette stitch. I need something else.
Yeah. And that's quick. Plus it's a small size because it's
a small size, kid size. So I mean, this is the back.
Yeah.
But the sides will go really fast because they're like whoop, and then sleeves and then you seam it together. Anyway, so
little button band or two and good to go.
Yep. See if I have some cute little buttons, which I probably already have.
Yeah, we have millions of.
I know.
Super
tons
cute.
of buttons. So, but now I have come to the store and picked up a couple of things that I had ordered and paid for, but hadn't made it in here to get. So I know I'm going to get distracted. But I've been talking.
Well, no, that's fine. Plus, you need some water because I can hear your voice starting to go. So I haven't cast this on yet, so I very diligently went out and bought the Sharon Air pattern, mainly because I was so enamored by the concept, and of course by Sharon and Casablanca in general.
Poor Sharon's in the slammer, Facebook slammer again.
I know. I feel like, I don't know. There's collusion, I think is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So I went and I picked out 4 stash colors, which I'm very excited about, actually.
Those are gorgeous.
Yeah, and so let's see if I remember correctly. This is an Into the World color. This one, I wrote them all down. This is Mermaid Scale, which is a fiber stash color. This is a fiber stash blue, like gunmetal, I think it is.
I was gonna say it looks like gunmetal.
Yeah, and this is a Must Love Yarn special colorway that was in one of our early boxes. It's Twinkle. I think it's also fiber stash. I think it's 3 fiber stash yarns. There is perhaps a color theme in my in my stash, and then I could find 4 blues of varying configuration
that work.
And I was also like, oh, maybe a pink, maybe. Anyway, so. And then I was very excited about it. I wound all the yarn and I got the pattern, and then some other stuff happened. I was in Hawaii when the pattern released, maybe, and it's a different shape, which I was excited about because I was curious about the shape, and then we came back and I had to do these other things first, and then I was like, oh, that sea glass tee. So I haven't cast it on yet, and now I'm in some mystery Knitalong, of course. I'm sure you all know about it, or if you don't. So now I'm kind of at the point where I'm like watching other people knit it to decide whether I like the shape or not, because the other option could be that I might go back and knit pinions out of these 4 instead of out of a million different colors. And just alternate that or do something like that, because I think the reason I didn't like my pinions was because I think there were too many colors that weren't consistent with each other. So I don't quite know what's going to happen, but I do love these 4 yarns together, and
they are amazing together.
Yeah, and so I might knit this. We'll see. I've been watching.
I've been watching too. Like,
to sort of see.
Again, interesting construction.
Right, exactly. That's the thing for me. And I have a sense I know where it's going. At least Clue 3 has been released and people started. And so I sort of thought it started as a triangle shawl. And I thought it's not going to, because she doesn't love triangle shawls. And so I sort of assumed there were going to be wings, which there are, according to the most recent post. So anyway, I might still cast us on and knit it. I'm not quite sure yet. So anyway, but that's
yes, I've been enjoying all of the purchases.
I haven't even read all the clues yet, which is ridiculous.
Chad's credit card,
right? Exactly.
On the Facebook in the Facebook group,
crazy, and the whole thing with like the passport and the different destinations. I mean, this was so well thought out.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome. It's really good. So, we need to get her to come visit us.
That would be fun.
Maybe next summer.
That'd be super fun.
We probably need to ask now for next summer.
So my couple of new projects or up and coming projects here are totally 100% related to me being Instagram clickbait, which is what I refer to as when I spend time on Instagram and I'm like, ooh, pretty, I want to make that. Click, click, click. I want to buy that.
Oh, I am not that person for whatever reason. I just don't know why.
I went through a phase where like I was like doing it a
stuff.
bunch, and then I haven't for a really long time.
I know you've been really
good.
Yeah.
And I just the one I couldn't walk away. It was so gorgeous, and the other one was yarn we carry in the store. So I was like, okay, I can justify that one. All right, so. A while back, Amy Christopher's released pattern called Pressed Flowers.
It's so funny. It's so pretty. I like it. It's just not a pattern that appeals to me at all for I don't really know what reason, because it's such a pretty thing.
Yeah. But, so and hers is, like maybe a variegated and a solid color or two solid colors. So where I got clickbaited on Instagram was
a dyer did something, or
the Spin Cycle ladies knit one with
those are beautiful colors. Yeah,
this for the flowers with a really dark like charcoal gray.
Yeah, that's beautiful
in the back, and it just like these jewel tones just like pop out.
I do like the darker ones better. There's something about
gray.
The lighter one that just doesn't. I don't know why.
And so of course the Spin Cycle ladies like put the kit together, and I was like, oh, I have to get that. So I did, and this yarn that they used was Julie Aslin, one of her yarns, which you can't it's really hard to get. It's not available. And I was like, well, what do we have? We've got something. So this is just wool stock. And the pattern Pressed Flowers is for a DK weight. This is their worsted weight. So they've made it a bigger shawl. Yeah, and that wool stock it's kind of a light worsted weight. Yeah. It's worsted weight, but it always feels a little bit lightweight to me. Yeah. In a good way, not in a bad way. So I kind of feel like I'm okay. Like this came from the store and this was a special purchase. Yeah. And so I'm going to knit this like giant worsted weight like triangle shawl that I think is going to be so cozy and so beautiful. Yeah. And for sure. Like when you're scrolling, sometimes you just see those pictures and you're like your jaw drops and you're just like, I have to do that. Yeah. And it made my heart sing with just the colors. They are beautiful. The Spin Cycle is always beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Pressed Flowers. Awesome. That's going to be an up and coming here probably really soon, like maybe sooner rather than later. Yeah. Well, at least get it started, right? So excited. Yeah. Yeah. So you can be knitting on that along with other things. I can knit on that along with other things. So that was like Instagram clickbait number 1. Go ahead. So when Legacy Fiber Arts was here, they had been, I watched their podcast a couple times before they came, and Kelsey has been knitting these, and they've been doing these packages. And so this is a sample. So I know, and it does. I don't know which is the right. Obviously this is the right side, but the back side is really beautiful as well because all the little bups pop out. Yeah. So this is called. It's a free pattern, Tassels in the Sky by Vincent Villapando. It's a free pattern on Ravelry.
this one is a little bit smaller, I think, in general, but it's just, I could not, I love nubby yarns. I just could not resist it. And so I was very torn. So we brought some into the store. So we have these 4 sets, or we have several of each, but these 4 colorways are still here.
That one, I like that one a lot.
Yeah, we brought in like 4 or 5 of this colorway, and of course that's the one that sold out the most. And it was interesting. So when I was looking at it, it's kind of funny because so this is the one I bought, and I love this crazy mohair, but part of the reason I bought it was because of the yarn underneath. And I'm thinking actually that I'm not going to knit it with this mohair, but I'm going to knit it with like a cream mohair instead.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want the colors of the Slubadub to sort of take control. I was very torn by this one because the
that's
colors
a nice one too.
I might change my mind and flip them out and put this one in the store because the colors in this one are gorgeous. But there was something about there's blues and greens mixed in with this. Like you can sort of see the colors in the underlying yarn there. It's very hard to miss to look past the pink purple mohair. But anyway, so this, I think I'm sort of tempted to just cast it on because it's another one of those sort of great mindless projects that you can just be knitting on quickly.
And super warm and snuggly.
I know,
and
I
perfect
just,
for like those
just,
in between times.
You just want this wrapped around. And I think the regular pattern has multiple tassels on it, but Chelsea only wanted the one. So she left the sample for us to keep in the store.
Nice.
Really, honestly, either side is gorgeous, which is, I think, another nice thing, because sometimes the back side, is not exactly, but I honestly almost like that side better than the front. But they're both
fun.
Yeah. So anyway, I think they have this up in their shop as well, but obviously if you're local or if you just, I don't know if we put this, I think we did. Yeah. But anyway, we have some really fun choices available, and the colors are just gorgeous.
Yep.
So
as always, their colors are beautiful.
So this may be coming my way sooner rather than later, just because I wasn't going to buy anything. Of course, I wasn't going to buy anything, but that's how that works. And I actually got 2 skeins of glass ceiling as well, which I've always thought was beautiful. This is the colorway she did right after the election in 26 Biden's election. So I've been talking about doing like a dark colored love note, and I may still do that with the yarn that I picked out, but I think I'm going to do something, if not love note, with this, something similar. That was partly why I bought it, is to carry it with a mohair that just allows these colors. They're just
gorgeous. Yeah,
I love the concept too, where she took all the colors from the inauguration garments that the women were wearing. When you looked up at the inauguration, you saw all those amazing colors, and so she took those colors, and that's what became. So, anyway,
awesome.
So I couldn't resist.
Nice.
We have glass ceiling. We've had it in the store, but we keep selling it. So I thought to myself, I should probably just, put this in my stash before it disappears.
So the other thing that I purchased for yarn from the store to make is
I love this yarn.
Wool and Pine just released a new cardigan pattern. It's called the 3 Seasons cardigan, and it's a
great shape.
Amazing, like nice shaped, cabled. Like I've been really jonesing cables lately for some reason. And it's knit out of the Concept Cotton Merino by Katia, which we have in the shop, though it looks like we need to restock. I cleaned out the purple.
Well, honestly, it's been hard for us to keep in stock.
Yeah, because it's so popular.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
People have been knitting all kinds of different things out of it. Yeah.
So this is the yarn that she knit the sweater out of. So I was like, that's perfect. Because there is, you can substitute yarns, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
it's nice.
Sometimes it's nice to knit the pattern with the yarn it calls for, and it's kind of amazing, like how magical it is.
Says the one person who never does it.
Yeah,
right. I agree completely.
A lot of yarns, but it was just, for me, it being a wool and pine pattern, a cabled pattern, a really pretty cardigan, and a yarn that we stock here in the store, I was like, oh, I need to do this. So that's going to be popping on the needles probably sooner rather than later, because I just am super excited when I saw
that'll be
it.
beautiful.
And again, it's one of those, like, you see the pictures and you're like, oh my God, that's gorgeous. And then you start reading more about the pattern, and then you go look at the page on Ravelry, and you were like, oh yeah, I'm sold. I'm doing it. Like,
I like their patterns quite a bit. I've been I mean, I know a lot of people did the sorrel sweater that they had a few years ago, and I looked at that for a while. But I haven't done anything about it. I'm going to focus on this one instead right now. Yep. That's one of theirs as well.
So, yep.
Yeah, that'll be beautiful.
3 seasons cardigan, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
And that fits in really nicely to a new knit-along that I'm going to start. So there's still a little bit of time for the tank along. So the tank along runs through Labor Day, or when I
counted these two as tanks. Not that I posted them in the Ravelry thread, but I will. I don't know. That one doesn't count. It has sleeves. Just saying. Well, sort of, but they're not really. No I made them longer. The actual reason, I think that is because on the actual pattern, it didn't. It just from here up. And so anyway, I added length to the sleeves because I wanted them to have more.
So get your entries in for the summer tank along, because
I got to finish my little top over. That's why I started that other little top.
I've got some new cows coming up, and I'm going to run through them real quick because we've been talking for a really long time.
Oh, we have a little bit more to do still.
We have a little more to do. So coming up, starting September 15th, is what I'm calling our cables and lace along. So basically, texture. Does it have cables? Does it have lace? Does it have both? If it has both, you get extra entry. Whips are allowed, like whatever. Like it could be a headband, it could be a sweater, it could be a tank. Actually, technically, I think this has like a cable detail at the top. So like that would qualify. And it also has lace. So cables and lace. Does it have lace? Does it have cables? Does it have both? Whatever you want. Shawls, sweaters, sky's the limit. Little lace purse. I don't know. Whatever you want. Cables and lace. Gonna run it through the end of November. Plenty of time if you want to make a sweater to like join in, or multiple small projects or whatever. So come join it. We're also
I have a cable sweater I started about 10 years ago. I could finish that.
We're also going to restart up the Warmth with Yarn cowl. So we run that in the fall.
I think we should do some donations to Knit the Rainbow this time as part of our donations.
So we do, it's a donation knitting type of thing. We'll run it through the end of the year. We collect donations. We make donations to some of our local folks, or we can do Knit the Rainbow.
I think we should just add them. We do mostly local, but a little bit of that.
So we take collection here. So if you want to drop stuff off, sometimes people mail us stuff. You don't have to mail us stuff. If you don't live here and you want to participate, you donate locally and then post in our thread, and we enter you for prizes at the end of the cow. So it's just a great way for people to give back.
You can do what I did last year, which is you can teach your office to knit, and I think it's really funny. I thought, well, that's a one-off kind of thing, and they did donate stuff, all the different people in my different offices, and but they asked me to do it again this year.
Awesome. So that's fortuitous, right? Like Warmth with Yarn cowl, so it's our annual fall.
We'll do that in October.
Yep. So run through the end of the year, and then new up because of some new yarn that we have in the store is what I'm calling the Sparkle Along. So I'm going to start this one in October. So you've got a little more time to plan and think of what you want to do or how you want to do this. And of course, whips are always allowed because like whatever, we're loosey-goosey with the rules. So basically the rule is make it sparkle. So
it's too bad the sun went away.
I know, right? So use sparkle yarn, like yarn that has sparkles in it already. We have this new great stuff in the store where you can add this to your project to make it sparkle. If it doesn't sparkle, you could add beads. Like there's basically make it sparkle. Whatever it takes to make it sparkle. It could be a Christmas ornament. It could be a fun top to wear.
Another tank, but for the evening.
Another tank. It could be, I don't know, a shawl. It could be a pair of socks with sparkle. It could be a beaded purse. I don't know. Have fun with it. We're going to run it October 1st to December 31st. So like through the holiday season.
We have 22 colors.
22 colors of this like
Amazing sparkle
stuff. So you can make anything sparkle.
Yeah, and of course some of them are very basic, basic neutrals, all the way to some really fun, crazy ones.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to knit a sample in the store.
Look at that. Look at how fun
like this one. I love this blue one.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, really, like, so this is Stellaris.
Right.
You could knit this holding multiple strands of it, like by itself. Probably not for garments, like for like a Christmas ornament or something.
I think they recommended that you not do that. You could try it.
Yeah.
It's definitely meant and better off being a hold-along yarn. Yeah. Which is, I don't know if that's a real phrase, but that's what I call it. So it's held with something else.
But you can hold a couple of these with another yarn for more sparkle.
Yeah.
So these little guys,
or you could hold it with something really lightweight, like lace.
Yeah.
In which case you're going to definitely get more.
Like almost.
But it needs a little substance there to give it some body.
So these are 25 little gram spools. They've got 560 meters. So lots of yardage. And
I
just
forget what we're selling them
fun.
For.
They're not. They're not that much.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, to add a little sparkle to your project. So, sparkle along. Check out the Stellaris.
I know. I haven't actually done anything. I'm the one who made us.
I know. She was like, "We have to get the sparkle stuff."
I've been asking for years now, and
she finally got it.
We went to H&H, and I was like, "Here we go. Let's just stop right here and look."
So while she's looking that up to get you the price point,
$14.50.
$14.50.
Yeah.
So not too bad to add a little sparkle. You could also do like every other row, or you could just incorporate it into a section of your garment,
or you could use it with the twinkle yarn, in which case it would be very sparkly.
Really sparkly. So the other thing that we grabbed from kind of the same company when we were there is this papyrus, which is actually paper yarn. Because why not?
Because it was so much fun.
The
book is actually in that bag with the sample.
And something, a little different. So there's this great book. This is kind of what sucked us in. We got H&H clickbait.
And they actually had like all these different samples. There was a tote bag and some other stuff. And so we were very...
So this is for crochet. So you might actually see me do some crochet here. Super fun, like lots of different little things. There's a hat, a bucket hat. There's a couple of bags. There's some totes.
Some home good
type things, placemats.
Little bowls.
Yeah.
I think this is a tote that they had.
There's this like shopping tote kind of thing. And it's something that is just so different. And such a different medium, right? It's paper.
Yeah.
So
we brought it in a bunch of colors, like 7 or 8.
This is one of our little sample baskets that our folks are working on here.
Yep. I think it's either that or the hat. We're not 100% sure.
I'm sure it's a basket.
I think so too.
Anyway, if it's a hat, we'll let you know. We're pretty sure it's a basket.
Yeah.
So just, fun, something different, a little unique.
Yeah. And matte finish. So it's a nice... and it's kind of funny. It just gives it a very wickery sort of raffia effect.
Yeah.
We were thinking that you could probably knit with it as well, although I'm not sure we've tried that out yet. But
no,
it seems complicated to try and learn to knit with it. But it is good to.
So we've just got some basic like neutral colors. Most of the colors that we picked up are ones that are in that project book. It's.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It just seemed like something fun,
something
a little bit different.
We were ordering from the company anyway with the Solaris, so we were like, let's add.
And in fairness, I will say that I was willing to only buy like 10 colors of the Stellaris, and Ange was like, let's get them all. And I was like, all right.
Why not?
You don't have to convince me.
I know. So anyway, now we have all of them in that cute little rack.
Right.
So to display them, because how would you display them in as good of a way? So
I think the other new yarn that we have in is... We have a bunch that are new, actually, but this one is actually the sweater that's over there behind me.
Yeah,
so it's Dash by Barocco. So this is, we have it in like
4 colors.
4 different colors.
It's a bulky yarn.
Yeah, super bulky, actually.
Super bulky.
Yeah. It's
knit on 13 to 15s.
100 grams, 230 yards. So it's funny, it actually is more like an Aran weight technically, but I guess probably, but 92% wool, 8% nylon.
It looks like it's a chain ply.
And it's extra fine merino.
Part of the reason why it's
so puffy.
So puffy.
So it's super soft. It really is. And that sweater, it knit up so quickly.
Yeah,
that's crazy fast.
That we knit that here. That wasn't one that Broco sent to us.
Krista's working on a hat.
Oh, out of this?
Yeah, of the leftovers. Cool. Yeah, so that we can see what that looks like. Awesome. Just and also to see how the stripes do in a hat rather than in a bigger garment. Yep. And so anyway, so super fun.
Some different.
Yeah. So that one has like pink, purple, blue stripes. This one is like blue, green, pink. It's hard to tell because purple, sorry, because the colors are inside. This one is more neutral.
Like oranges and browns.
Yep. And then this one is like different greens. And a little bit of blue probably. I think the sample
isn't it out
of the purple one. Yeah.
Purple, greens, and blues. Yep.
So that's fun.
Yeah, so that's new in. We have some other new yarns that we'll talk about next time, and we're going to start getting a lot of our fall yarns in the next month or so. So we'll have lots of cool things to show you. We're getting some new stuff in, some new lines of things. Shaking it up a little bit. But we'll have a lot of our standard like workhorse stuff here. Brocos and
some of them are in new colors, and some are every year the manufacturers change things up as well.
Yeah.
So the other knitting that I was referencing before is we're going to give you a little sneak peek of the upcoming seasons of Vermont. The bags just got dropped off yesterday. We have project bags.
Cool.
Joan Fitzhugh has done a beautiful project bag for us. And so, I like to have surprises, but Anne just convinced me that I have to share things ahead of time. So
yeah.
You've seen me, I posted a few little sneak peeks when I was knitting the sample socks in our colorway, and even when I was knitting in the I was going to say the show colorway, but it's the box colorway. So the yarn is a Woolens and Nosh yarn, and it is called Gratitude, and I asked her specifically, this is an exclusive colorway. The light in here seems to have gotten a little bit wonky, but in fall colors, and we debated which... So it'll be a skein, and this is DK weight, I should say, and it is in her 100% superwash merino 3-ply, 243 yards and 100 grams plus the 50 gram mini, or whatever you want to call it. So I picked green. We could have done a different color, but I like the green. So, and then you can see in my little pattern, and I knit these socks myself, which is very exciting. I will say this. One, I didn't mind it. I kind of enjoyed it. Nice. And I thought, So not only did I knit them, I designed a pattern. It's a sock, which is kind of crazy all by itself. But I wanted to do something that would play with the colorway a little bit and the striping. So I haven't named this pattern yet. But now you can see all the colors and how much fun they are.
Or maybe help us name this pattern.
You could, although I have some ideas, of course. But
of course.
It may not show. So the idea, and actually they've been blocking. So I wanted the pattern. So in the front, the stripes are solid, and then they're on the sides. They're sort of just these little diamonds or things. So anyway, it was fun, and I figured it all out, which I'm pretty excited about because we have to get these done. This is getting ready to come out in September.
Yep.
So
this is going to be releasing in the middle of September. So in a few more weeks.
In the
right
fall
before the markup. Oh,
right.
A week later.
Well, around that time. So I think we are going to release them that Friday before. So like the 10th, probably September 10th, I want to say. That's assuming we get everything. And then Joan did these beautiful quilted bags, which the fabric, I just love the fabric.
It's amazing.
So some of them have red zippers, some of them have brown zippers, and then the inside is just her standard cotton with a pocket inside. And
she makes the best bags.
I know, and this, ooh, look how, now you can really see the colors. I swear it's almost better without
I know.
We need a natural light.
I know.
Oh, we didn't turn on the...
because it was so bright in here to begin with.
We didn't realize that it was fall here in the store already.
Yeah.
Of course, we are going longer than we normally do.
Yep.
So anyway, so precursor.
Yep.
Notes to self.
Yep.
Mark September 10th on your calendars if you're interested. And
And
there'll be more to
also
come.
September 10th, because it's our final summer marketplace.
On the 11th.
Happening.
Right?
This says the 10th.
Oh, sorry. These are releasing on the 9th. Because we do have a Friday release. So if the 10th is... Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
I don't know.
10th is Saturday. So September 10th is our final summer marketplace. We are going to start them again like we did in November between Thanksgiving and
Starting
Christmas.
on Thanksgiving weekend.
Yep. So we'll have winter ones again, but so the last of our summer ones. And at this final one, we are going to have Bobolink Yarns is going to be here. Blue Heron Farm is going to be here. Peter's Home Farm is going to be here, and
Our very own
Fern Bridge
Kelly
Farm is going to be here.
Not her first round of yarn, but certainly
Yep.
pretty close.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. And I know there's going to be color as well as natural.
Yeah.
So it'll be beautiful.
So that'll be exciting. So hopefully you can come check that out. We also have Botanical Alchemy Natural Dye class with Tammy White from Wing and a Prayer Farm that's happening the following Saturday, so September 17th. That's a all-day sort of natural dye class. Lunches included, and you're gonna be able to. You will walk out of here with a set of sort of mini skeins
and some fabric scarves, and a pattern for the mini skeins to use, and so. Plus a wealth of knowledge.
So much knowledge from Tammy. She's amazing.
Yeah.
So check that out.
So, right, I think we're pretty close to having, so we just need 1 or 2 more people.
So the class can go?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you've been on the fence, do it.
Now
you will not.
No, it's well worth it. So well worth
totally worth it.
It'll be super fun as well as informative.
Having taken a number of classes from
She's
Tammy,
just,
not all yarn related. Like I did a soap making class. Like I've done, and she's amazing. She's an amazing teacher.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And our regular class schedule, we're actually putting the finishing touches on, and we'll have that. I think we're starting classes later in September, maybe early October. So we'll have that posted pretty soon. I feel like there's more, but who knows?
That's the stuff for right now.
Yeah, and I think if you, speaking of Seasons of Vermont, it just reminded me, we didn't really say this, but if you are interested in the Colors Way, we do have a few of these left from the June box. We sold quite a few of them, so we...
awesome.
But there's still some left if you're interested, so... and for what it's worth, you know, when we release the next one, we'll release the pattern on Ravelry for this, so that'll be... up and available in another couple of weeks as well by itself.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
So thank you for sticking with us. We had a lot to
It's 2 podcasts in one.
It is kind of.
Or maybe 3. I don't even know.
Something.
We had to make up for last time.
Exactly. But I think we're going to be able to maybe get back on our regular schedule.
Yeah. There's a lot going on this fall.
So
lots to share this fall. So
yeah. So thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you want to stick around for like the 30, 35 minutes of outtakes and chit chat.
You definitely should, because it's a good catch up.
Yeah. All the crazy stuff and why it's been so long since we podcast. Anyway.
Get the scoop.
Get the scoop. You heard it here first.
That's right.
So thanks, everybody. We will
Indeed.
see you soon.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Promise.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Fingers crossed.
Right.
School's starting.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Pending diseases.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, all right, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.
You on. Okay. So, our collection of bodies behind us.
Oh, still
You're
pretty bright.
still bright in the sun. Where is that coming from?
It's really, truly just like it's right there.
Oh.
But you know what? It's moved this much since we were here, so I feel like in a few more minutes it'll it'll move more. It's all good.
Wow. It is a really bright, hot, sunny
Right. So if I start sweating, then that will be it'll be very obvious to everyone.
We tried to fix our light situation, and we've done somewhat okay.
As much of the home repair
not.
as is possible.
Yeah.
We really need to just replace
We
those
need to
blinds.
fix those. Yeah. Like Lowe's has those. They're almost like the honeycomb ones that you could come up and down this way. I did all those in my office.
Yeah, I would much prefer those. I hate
They
these
have like the
blinds.
filter, like the
right,
light
because then you would
filters
just do
through.
whatever and you wouldn't have to do the whole
Right,
length of it. The vertical ones are terrible.
Exactly. See if
Okay.
how long I can get through this.
I'll have to do all the talking.
I know, we're a disaster, folks. So quick update.
Speak for yourself.
I know. Well, we'll do it
kidding.
here in the outtakes. So those of you who watch all the time know that I was supposed to go away in August, and we were supposed to podcast like right before I left to get one.
I couldn't remember why, but that's why.
Yeah,
I was like, why did we not do it right
my
before?
whole family got COVID like 2 days before we were supposed to leave, so we didn't leave.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
So sad.
So not only did we not leave, but we were all sick, like symptomatic sick. So that was fun. And
She sounds awesome. So.
I know, and I still sound awesome. We all got better, and we went on a mini vacation to Maine. So we were trying to salvage some of this vacation time.
It looked like you had
for our
fun.
kids. We had a great time.
At least according to Facebook. You had a good time.
No, it was fun. We did a lot of things.
Yeah, Maine is really awesome. I love Maine.
I would go back there.
Yeah.
Totally. I would go back again.
Yeah.
We stayed in the Sebago Lake area.
Did you? I don't know how much you want to share here, but I was very curious because, of course, I go to Maine too, but in a different way. And I offered Ange, my friend's place.
We almost took you up on it.
Yeah. And so I was curious. Did you find a place to rent? I was afraid you wouldn't be able to find anything at the last minute.
We found a place to rent. There were a variety of places and price points, but we're lucky. We have more flexibility in that regard.
I wasn't sure if you were camping or if you.
No, we rented. We did Airbnb.
That's good. Given the sickness, just to be inside, I think is perhaps a good
be
thing
inside,
at night.
Have a bed, flush toilets, showers. So you're not showering with other people.
These are all the reasons I don't camp in general.
Yeah.
Although every summer for like 3.5 days, I'm like, because we used to camp all the time when I was a kid, and I'm like, camping, that's fun, like bonfires, and and then I was like, but as a kid, you don't have to do the adult prep.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And
of
also,
work to
I
go
like
camping.
to sleep on a mattress, like a real one.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah, that was kind of that was necessary given where we were. So we stayed in Airbnb. We spent some time at various like beaches. So the Sebago area has like a state park with a super sandy beach. Like, we were kind of playing, for those of you that were playing along on Instagram, like, where am I? I ran into Storm Coast Jen like the first day we were out and about.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and so I was like, wait. And she was like, wait. And I was like, what? What are you doing here? She was like, I was looking on Instagram to see if you were here. And I was like, yeah, we just got here. Anyway, so ran into somebody that I knew. That was always fun in another state.
Yeah. It's funny how it always happens.
I know,
no matter
right?
Where you go. Yeah.
So beach time, kids did a ton of swimming, like water time, which was good. We went into Portland for a day. And one of the things that we did while we were in Portland was we did a schooner ride. So on one of their like 100-year-old historic like sailboat schooners.
I always sit on the island and I'm like, oh, look, there goes one of those pretty boats again.
It was so amazing. I love riding on sailboats. I know nothing about sailing. I couldn't do any of the sailing things.
I'm not a fan because it makes me sick to my stomach.
I love to just sit. It's so peaceful and it's so quiet and it's just...
My wristbands, I wear wristbands, and sometimes that helps, but otherwise, that motion sickness thing just kicks right in.
Yeah. We went up to the lighthouse.
There's a lot to do in Maine, and a lot of it is so accessible, and if it's not free, obviously some of it's not to rent or go on the cruise, but the beaches are really accessible and easy to get
to. Most of them we went to were in like state parks, and so you pay the state park fee, but it's not like a huge amount. Yeah, it's not a big deal. We we walked around the day we were in Portland. It was really, really hot.
Yeah. In the city. It's so funny. You're right
And
there
then
on the
we got
water
out on
and
the
you're like,
water.
why is it so hot right here on the street?
No, I know.
Yeah.
And we go out on for the cruise, for the sail, and it was like 30 degrees cooler out there.
Yeah.
And like, you know, my kids are like, oh, I'm so cold. Guys, anyway, so that was fun. We spent a day in Freeport because we had like a day where it just rained.
Yeah, perfect day to go to all the outlets.
It was like the LL
the big
Bean
LL
day.
Bean.
Yeah.
Mothership.
Yeah, pretty much. And I feel like everything's like an hour from where we were. Like it was like an hour to Portland. It was like an hour to Freeport. It was an hour. We came back and went to like south of Old Orchard Beach to go. Like there's
I
a
always
state
forget
park
where
down
Sebago
there.
Lake is. It's like up north of, like sort of directly north of Portland a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's kind of in the
a little bit northwest,
northeast. Little bit northeast.
Yeah,
but it's not that far. Like distance-wise, it's like 30 miles away.
Yeah, it's
like,
further. It's always further than I think it is.
Yeah,
because I'm always like, it's right there on the edge of town.
Yeah.
But I don't go that way. Every now and then I'll drive home that way, but mostly I don't because it's an extra hour on 302. But
yeah, it's a lovely area. There's lots to do. There's like tons of lakes in that region. So there's Sebago Lake, there's like Long Lake, there's like this lake, Elk Lake, Moose Lake. Like there's just all kinds of outdoor recreation type stuff.
And there's still such a laundry list of things. You didn't get to like Acadia and the Coastal Botanical Gardens, which is one of my very favorite places. I would love to go to that.
I know. Well, you sent that over and I was like, oh.
I couldn't remember how much longer you were going to be there because I forgot before you went. Poor Ange, I was like, go here. Oh, and here's another text about another place you can go to.
It was fine.
Yes.
It's giving me a list of things that we can go back and do some other time.
Right, exactly.
It was fun. And, you know, and it's close, right? Because where Sebago is, it was 4 hours, but it was like back roads.
Oh, because you went that way, right? Over 302.
We went over 302. We went across New Hampshire.
Up over the White Mountains. It's a beautiful drive. Yeah.
Kangamangas.
Yep, you're right.
Kangamangas Highway.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Through the White Mountains. So beautiful.
And there's some great little towns along that as well, like Bethlehem and Gorham. And,
we didn't stop at really any of them except for maybe to use the bathroom in New Hampshire. But it's, I mean, like most of it, like half the trip is just driving across Vermont.
Right.
2 hours. And you get New Hampshire and it's like the skinny part of New Hampshire and it's like a little bit over an hour and then it's like 30 minutes once you hit Maine to like where we were going. Like it was just like right there.
I always go down and around because I'm more interested in getting to Portland quickly now. So so I can get over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was nice.
Yeah, not what you had planned.
Not what we had planned, but you know, it's a good. Sometimes I think it's a good life lesson for like my kids. Like, you know, things don't always go the way you want, and you know, the key is to find something else that you can do to fill in or to change your plans. Like,
and hopefully you'll get out to see your whole family, maybe holiday time or after,
we'll see.
Or maybe next spring, even if you want to wait till
probably
the
have to
weather's
be
nicer.
like next summer, before we have like a good block. Because once the kids start school, like we're you know, we're
otherwise you're like a week maybe tops. Yeah,
right. And that's, you know, it's a long trip to go for a week. It's doable, but it's
you can go to Hawaii in 4 days if you want.
You're crazy. So, there's that. Traveling with kids, not my ideal. But
it's not ideal for grown-ups either.
It's a lot of traveling. Having done that trip a couple times, that's a long trip.
It was only bearable with the idea that I'm going back again in March, and I will be there for 2 weeks hopefully then. And it wasn't really unbearable, but again, it was just me. I didn't have to deal with kids or family or anything, and I just was like, I'm either gonna be tired or I'm not gonna be tired, and I have my stay up till it's late. I left here at 6:30 in the morning. I landed in Hawaii at 2:00 in the afternoon, same day. I know, it's like, what? And you know, you're tired. Of course, you've been traveling
but also the sun's up. You're getting
12 or 14
cues that it's
hours.
the middle of the day.
Right, exactly. So that's my rule.
Like,
no matter which way I'm going, left, right, up, down, sideways, stay up till it's dark. I managed to keep myself up until it was 8:00. So that was, I don't even know, 2:00 in the morning here, I guess, maybe. Yeah. So, and I had gotten up at 3 something to get to the airport. So that was a long day.
But then you sleep hard.
But then I slept, and I woke up at 1:30 briefly in the morning, and then I got up at 5:30, but I went to bed at 8. I mean, so 8 to 5:30 is really plenty of time. It's so. And so I was up early every day, and I mean every day being the 2, because we had meetings on. So I wandered around a little bit in the afternoon just to be outdoors, and then I went up to the pool and ordered, had a sandwich at the pool and just kept myself outdoors. And the next day we were indoors most of the day. We went to dinner. We got up. We met for half to 3/4 of the day, and then I went to the airport and got on a 5:00 flight back. So, and I knew, I wasn't going to sleep exceedingly well, but I upgraded that leg of the flight to normal first class, not the lie down exciting first class, but the in between, the 2 versus 3 seat first class. And the only downside is I flew, that was an 8-hour leg on purpose so that I would have
longer to sleep. Or try to sleep.
And I sort of slept a little bit, and then the only downside was I had a 3 to 4 hour layover in Chicago, so that by the time I got on that plane to get home, I was really dragging. But then I just went home and did nothing and went to bed at my normal time. And honestly, truly, I didn't feel disjointed time-wise. I was hungry at weird times.
Yeah,
that was it. I will take that over the not sleeping. There was definitely people there who were struggling to sleep properly and up and out of their beds at 3:00 in the morning. I was like,
no.
Not going to do that.
No.
That's unpleasant. But yeah.
So that's good. So so we were in Maine for that week, and then we came home, and then I promptly got sick again. So I don't know, some sort of allergy / cold / something. I don't know.
People are getting it seems like a number of people, and who knows, everyone has a different experience. A number of people seem to be getting the backwards forwards COVID, where you get it and then you are fine and then you get another couple days of it. So I don't know.
I hope that's not what this is. I mean, I've had this now for a week, so I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
Yeah.
It's super weird. So.
Yeah.
My kids go back to school on Wednesday.
I was going to say, and then it's back to school and all of that excitement for the last couple days. Yeah.
And then, we'll start the Petri dishes all over again. So can't wait.
I know my sister said to me the other day, because my niece goes back to school on Wednesday, and meanwhile they have had COVID in their household. My brother-in-law got COVID and was pretty sick actually. For pretty solid for a week and change, but they managed to get him into the basement before he could infect anyone else in the household. So the good news was my sister and my niece did not get sick, but my sister said to me the other day, what does it matter? She's going back to school. We kept her healthy for soccer tryouts and school start, and then in a week and a half she's going to be sick anyway.
One of my kids brought it in, so it was just we were doomed from the start.
Yeah.
It's just. How you can't quarantine your kid into well, anyway, by the time we knew he had it
right,
was
exactly. The only benefit here is my brother-in-law, and it's kind of sad because he has a very small business, professional services, engineering business that he runs, and he's got a couple people in it with him, but he and the other guy, they need to be there.
I mean,
and
I'm it in my
exactly.
Too, so.
And so he's been very careful. And he went to a concert with a friend. He did something fun for the first time all summer, realistically, because he's been really busy this summer and he hasn't had any time off.
Yeah.
When we went to Maine, he stayed here, and so I just felt bad, that he gave in and went and did something fun, and it turns out the guy he was traveling with from here was sick and he didn't know it. So they got home on Sunday afternoon, and that guy tested immediately, and he was positive. And so he just knew that he was gonna. He shared a car and a hotel with him. I mean, there's no way, he's not gonna get sick. So.
Yeah.
And it was pretty quick. Monday, he started showing symptoms.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, my kid came home from sleepaway camp with it. Great.
Yeah.
Acted like he had a cold on Sunday. we ended up testing him Monday, like immediate positive. Like it wasn't even like waiting. Like it was just like bing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I was like, oh, great. Because I had been in a car, anyway. So by Tuesday afternoon, I was starting to feel bad. And I was like, oh, great. So I'm going to go home and try to sleep this off. And I wake up Wednesday morning and I'm like, oh, nope. Test immediately positive. Yeah, like it was fast. And then like my husband was the next day. And the fourth one waited a week before she went down. So it was like, gee, mini Christmas.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, my poor brother-in-law, really, truly, I don't even know if my sister let him out yesterday. He finally tested negative, like, I don't know, Saturday or Sunday. And she's like, you're not coming upstairs.
Oh.
So they've been FaceTiming and putting his food on the top of the stairs. Their basement is reasonably well finished.
Yeah.
Although in fairness, it got flooded a couple of years ago and they've been repairing it ever since. So there is a functional bathroom. And anyway, it was...
Yeah, that was not a fun experience. I don't really want to repeat.
Right, and I got exposed when I was in Hawaii, actually. So one of the people I was not traveling with, but in the meeting that I was at, luckily she was on the far side of the room. They're not supposed to tell you, but of course we all knew.
Yeah, you all know who it is.
Anyway. So, so I had to wear a mask for 10 days or something, and I tested, but it was fine. So, I don't know. Super exciting. Nonsense.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you salvaged some and that you did manage to have some fun. And because when you texted me, I was like, oh, no.
Yep.
Especially, you've been looking forward to this trip for a long time.
Yeah.
And planning it for months. And so that's a hard thing to give up.
Yeah. Yay, trip insurance, though. So,
I'm bad. I never do that.
Oh, yeah.
But 4 tickets. If I was buying
4
plane tickets
with kids and just, we've learned over the years, we've had a number of little mini vacations that have had to be canceled because of like stomach viruses or like whatever. And so I always pay for trip insurance.
Yeah. And I guess, and right now, most of the airlines are very good
about
allowing you to just move your tickets to a different date.
Or refund or whatever. So,
Yeah, all you have to say is COVID and boom.
Yeah.
Okay. Done.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, so that was fun. But then, there was like the whole laundry list of things that had to be canceled. And I kind of staged them like...
One per day.
I had a bunch that had to happen like right away. And then like some stuff that had been planned for like a week or 2 into the trip. And like that could wait. And it's just like...
Right, because on top of everything else...
Yeah,
you felt like crap.
I'm sick. Yeah.
Although you were very convincing on the phone when you called them, I'm sure. Right.
Well, a lot of them I could do electronically.
Oh, that's good.
So I didn't even have to call anybody.
That's good.
And the ones that I had to call people for, I was able to do like the following week when I was feeling somewhat better. I don't know. Like my husband and I both got like the fatigue thing.
Yeah.
Where you're just like super, like even after all of your symptoms like go away, like you're still like super tired. Like you can't, like you have like a little window where you can do some activity, but then like first thing in the morning, you're not.
That's what's happening to my brother-in-law now. And I think last week he was like, oh, I feel so much better. And he's sort of launched in. And I think like on the day after that, he was like, oh yeah, that was not a good idea.
Yeah.
Golly,
so
it just
anyway,
sounds awful.
Well, and then and then you have like the kids, right? And so the kids had some symptoms and were sick. Then they're fine, like for like 12 hours or like 24 hours, and then like the next day they're like, no, we're cool. And so then they're like, let's go. And we're like, no, 1, we can't go anywhere.
Right.
And
2, 2, I need to lie down, please.
Yes, I need to go take a nap, or just sit here and knit.
Right.
So yes, there was
at the very least you did quite a bit of knitting, which is pretty impressive.
Well, there was a few days in there at the start where there was no knitting, and so that's how I gauged like how sick I am.
Even so, I wasn't sick, but I had a few moments. I don't have I don't have as much, but I have more than usual. But I had a few days this month where I was like, because it's been very hot this month.
Oh, and that was the thing. We were all sick with COVID when it was like 90+ degrees here.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So I lost the knitting days myself, but now I'm excited again, though.
Yeah, it cooled off except for today. Like
today is like
weird anomaly.
And last night was really
sticky.
I came home from the store and I had done we did our office, a group of us from the office did a 5K walk run thingy in the morning for one of the local charities. And so I did that. I did not run. Clearly I walked. And then I came in here and I had like an hour before the store opened, but not enough time really to go home. And by the time I left here, I was really tired, which is ridiculous. I don't really know why, but I think my day was off. It wasn't my normal sequence of Sunday. And then I got home and I was like, God, why am I so tired? I just feel like I need to lie on the couch. And then I was like, you know what? It's just hot. That's the difference. Yeah. Because it's been really pleasant the last week or so. It cools down in the evening. It's warm during the day. And then it's pleasant in the evening. But yeah. And finally I was just like, I need to go lie in my bed with a fan on.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And
Joy
then today
of the
it was
no AC Vermont lifestyle.
Yeah. And then today it was ridiculous again.
Yeah, luckily I was in the office today. So
I was too, for the first time. And
I didn't know if you went in last week or not. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. No, that's how awesome I felt again.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah. You started responding to emails and I thought, okay, well maybe I couldn't remember what your actual supposed vacation dates were because it was long. Yeah. And then I thought, well, she's responding to emails, so I feel like now I can email her. I was trying hard not to bother you.
I ended up just being out the entire week last week. There was a few things that I had to do.
Yeah, that's good that you could ease back in.
That allowed me to kind of ease back in, and I did. I had a moment, was it Wednesday? Maybe Wednesday, where I was like, I just want to see what's going on. I hadn't looked at my work email at all.
Wow, that's impressive. I just cannot.
Nope, I had to. I had to. Or I would have it wouldn't have been a vacation. So
yes, that is the problem.
I walked out of doing that and my husband just looks at me and he was like, that good, huh? And I was like, I shouldn't have looked. It's
well, plus it's just a lot. That means you weren't even deleting the trash. Part of the reason I go in is to just delete the 25, not the spam, but
just the
extra emails that I do not need. Thank you for copying me. I don't need to know that.
Yeah. Or the ones that should go in spam that don't go in spam that are in my inbox. Yeah, I get a lot of those. So a lot of just going in was cleaning up those and then kind of trying to get a sense of what was still there. And then, and then at that point, I need to check in with my legal assistant because 90% of the things that were there in my inbox had been dealt with. Right. So it wasn't as bad as
it appeared.
As it appeared. And
you look and you're like, oh, 500 emails. Awesome.
Right. I know. And then, I needed to anyway, so it was fine. Yeah. Today was for first day back. In the office, officially, even though technically I was supposed to be back last week, but it was not going to happen. I was also throwing I will admittedly say, even if I hadn't been sick, I was throwing a bit of a hissy fit that the first 10 days of my vacation were I was sick.
Right. And the last 4 days.
Right. And so before I started feeling bad again, I had kind of been planning, I think I'm going to take this whole week off just
yes, right, because you went midweek to midweek or something.
Yeah, anyway. Because the first half of my vacation was
not pleasant.
Not actually a vacation. So I was like, I can take 2 more days. People are not going to die.
No.
So
plus August, a lot of people take time off anyway. Half the people, it's every week there's a different crew of 5 or 6 people out.
Yep. That's part of the reason why the timing of this vacation was the way it was.
It's funny because I'm a July vacationer, and so for me, August is a very annoying month because I'm just like, what do you mean you're on vacation? Seriously? Yeah. We've got stuff that needs to get done. I need you to do it.
Yep.
Right. I know I took my vacation already.
Yeah. So, and I think, if I, was able to pull it off this year, I may start to make it an annual thing in August because we have this protracted window where summer camps end and there's 2 to 3 weeks before school starts with the kids. And so it's you have to, that's the perfect time. So I may start to just do that, though, as the kids get a little bit older, they're going to have sports and we're not going to be able to be gone as long.
No, because school will start earlier. My niece was at soccer tryouts all last week. And so Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, there's been all kinds of like knitting and things happening at my house, which is fun for me.
Yeah.
Though I did have like a point where I was finishing up a couple projects and I'm like, and now what am I gonna do? Like, never mind the fact that I have like an entire basement full of yarn.
Right. I might need yarn. Where am I going to find yarn? Right.
Do you think that I could be bothered to go look through my stash to be like, I want to find some yarn I want to use and then pick out a pattern? Oh, no. Right. Nope. But I did do some of that. Like, some of these projects here that I'm going to show came from stash yarn and stash diving.
Awesome.
And using up things that I already had.
Which is a mixture of that, good. Actually. Sort of, yeah.
And then I did buy some new yarn from the store and maybe some other place like this stuff, which kind of just fell into my cart. I got sucked into an Instagram post. Hasn't happened in a really long time, but it happened again.
Yeah.
And I had no willpower because I was like...
Because you were sick. I deserve something.
This. That's exactly what happened.
That's what happens to me.
And then, no, because this is funny. And then it got stuck in my mail hold. So we had our mail on hold because we were going to go away.
Yeah.
And so you get the email confirmation from the post office, and it's like, if you need to modify this, click here. Do you think the click here button works?
Probably not.
No. So I couldn't modify to end our mail hold. And then we were like going to be gone for a week. And then I was just like, whatever, I'm going to leave it in place. And then when we got back from Maine, I finally just went to the local post office and I was like, can I just...
Listen, human being, can you please fix this?
Can I just pick up my mail? Like, and can we end the hold? And like, there's supposed to be some form. And they were just like, oh, what's the address? And I told them, they were like, oh, here you go. Stuff, like no form. Like, it's totally fun. Anyway, so this was stuck in the mail hold as a pending package delivery because it was there, and that was part of the reason I wanted to go get that yarn because I knew it had been delivered.
Otherwise you would have let the mail pile up for a few more days.
Yeah, I probably would have because just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah,
there may have been something else in there that I also wanted. Swimsuits. I ordered some new swimsuits.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you go to the beach. You're like, oh, I like that swimsuit. Yeah. Because you're like surreptitiously trying to take pictures of people so you can find the swimsuit later on Amazon, which is what I did. Such a creeper. My kids were looking at their pictures. They're like, why do you have this picture of this lady? Who's that? And I was like, oh,
That's swimsuit lady number one.
I liked her swimsuit. I'm going to see if I can find it.
And that is swimsuit lady number 2.
Kids are looking at me. I was like, it's not creepy. They were like, it is creepy.
That's funny.
But
yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. Well, we had some good stuff here at the store too. We had our mid-August marketplace, and which I
put these guys in charge of.
Purchased a little bit. It was lovely. It was a nice day. We had Legacy Fiber Arts, Kingdom Fleece and Fiber,
Woolens and Nosh,
and
Cat's Paws,
and One Stitch Back.
Whoa, sorry, One Stitch Back. Sorry,
we've known them for a while, and they used to be I know, right? Exactly.
One Stitch Back.
Yeah, so it was great. I think they all had a good time and a good turnout, and we had a lot of people here, and there's a little bit of yarn over here on the table.
Awesome. My pocketbook was very happy that I was not here.
I was pretty good because, again, some of it we have available, and I was already working on a Woolens and Nosh project anyway, which I'll talk about in the actual podcast. I will have talked about already by now. So yeah, it was good. And other than that, it's been a little bit of a quiet month. It's back to school for sure because we had people stopping in all weekend as they dropped their kids off at school. And
it was UVM move-in this weekend.
Right. Yeah. And we said goodbye to Pam this month, which is one of our longtime amazing employees, and
off to her next adventure.
Yeah,
kind of like Kelly, right? Like Kelly's off on her, but she'll be back in September for our final fall marketplace, summer marketplace.
Kelly will, for sure.
Yeah,
and Pam will definitely be stopping in to visit us because she. It was a little sad to say goodbye to her, but And then we have another employee who's leaving at the end of the month who has been with us for almost a year now, I think, maybe.
Yep.
Another Jen. So be sad to say goodbye to her as well.
Yep.
But excitingly
some
enough,
new faces.
we do. So we hired our longtime friend Krista, who I think came to our retreat. That's where we first met her, like the one retreat we managed to have before COVID.
Right.
And so that was really exciting when she put her name in. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So she started last week, last Wednesday.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
Which is part of the reason why I was emailing, because I knew there was things that I needed to take care of for that.
So you'll see her a bunch. She's an amazing knitter. She's a little bit of a teacher. Well, she's a retired teacher, but she's also taught knitting classes and related stuff. So she'll be popping up.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, but if any of you are local to us, and we still have another part-time slot to fill here.
It does require weekends.
Yeah, that is the one downside.
But if you have nothing else to do on Saturdays and you're looking for something really fun, and you'd like to get paid and maybe get a yarn discount.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah. We can solve that problem.
Yes, we can.
For you. So, apparently we had someone pop in on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
A student who was new back.
All
which
right.
we actually were not hoping for, but just thinking that, it would be a
good.
great job for a student, on Saturdays. So, maybe Sundays, because Rachel, anyway. So.
Anyway, awesome.
Yeah. So, but we're not sure about that, so don't hesitate if you're interested.
Let us know.
Come talk to Ariana, and she'll
or shoot us an email or message or something, and we'll get you connected with Ariana. So it's awesome. We should probably actually start this podcast.
Yes, because this is a bit of chit chat, but it's been I haven't actually seen Ange since
I just podcast last,
which I don't even know when that was.
It was the end of July.
I came back from vacation.
It was like the 25th of July or something.
Right, it was right after I got back, or a week later or so. Right, and then we were going to do the one more, and I had forgotten that you actually got sick. Anyway, so because I was like, did I get sick? Like, why did we not do that last podcast?
Because I had a sense that it was coming. Because
I'm really glad.
My kid had already tested positive. So
because that was before my trip to Hawaii.
Yeah.
That would have been.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah, I canceled a whole bunch of stuff on Monday and Tuesday because I was just like, supposed to get my hair cut and do a whole bunch of stuff. And I was just like, nope, can't do this. Yeah. Because I just see this coming and I cannot be the source.
The vector.
So, anyway.
Yes, well, we appreciate your generosity of spirit to just keep that to yourself.
It was, do not.
Not something that needs to be shared. Yeah.
Nope. Thanks, kids.
All right. Well, we not only did we have a lot to catch up on, just not seeing each other, but we have a lot huge pile of stuff to talk about. We have 25 people standing behind us here.
Look at all of the people with all of their clothes on.
Awesome. Yes.
It's amazing. Yeah. And there's still more stuff on the table here. FOs and things.
Yes, there is.
So, new projects and other stuff. So.
Yeah.
All right. Should we kick this off?
Should we do this?
We should do this.
Okay.